Good morning, children. Welcome to your science video lecture. So, as you all know that we are done with the chapter 3rd of your book, that was fiber to fabric, and we have done the topics. We have also discussed the question answers, and still if you have any doubt regarding any topic from that chapter, you can ask me in your Zoom session. Okay, students, today we are going to start a new chapter, and the name of the chapter is sorting materials into groups. Okay, so this chapter is chapter number 4 from your book. So we are going to start this chapter today. Okay, so let's get into the introduction of the chapter. Okay, so students, as you all know that we see different type of objects around us, right? We see different type of objects, okay, like paper, which is made up of wood, okay, like a bulb, okay, which is made up of a glass, and the filament, that is filament means the which the filling that is used inside the bulb, which helps the bulb to glow, is of a different metal, okay, is made up of a metal. While the different type of clothes that we wear, they are made up of, some are made up of silk, some are made of cotton. And in our previous chapter we have also discussed that from where we get cotton and other fibers. Okay, and for example, if we talk about utensils, so utensils are also made up of the object, different type of objects, like utensils are made up of stainless steel, okay, and so on. So as you all know that these are three different objects, and to make these three different objects we have used different variety of materials. Okay, so as by this you can see that these objects, each objects are different. Okay, they have different appearance, they have different texture, they have different characteristics and features. Okay, so by this you can conclude that for a specific object we need different materials. Okay, we cannot make a bulb with a piece of cotton, or if we talk about making utensils, so we cannot make a utensil from a paper. Okay, so we know how we can identify that for what particular thing we need what particular material. Okay, so this thing we are going to see in this chapter. Okay, this chapter will tell us at the end that how we can identify that what material is useful for making a particular type of object. Okay, so students, this is a basic introduction of the chapter, that what we are going to see. Okay, so now let's move on to the chapter and start with the topics. So starts with the topics. So first of all, before we move on, let's understand that what is an object and what is a material, what are materials. Okay, so object refer to anything that can be felt or seen. Okay, object is anything that you can feel or that you can see. Okay, like a water bottle, like a mirror, a table, a dress material. Okay, these are some examples of objects, as you can see here also. Okay, and what is material? Materials refer to the matter from which the things are made up of. Okay, like a water bottle is made from a plastic, right? A bottle is an object, and that bottle is made up of plastic, so plastic is example of a material. Okay, similarly if we talk about mirror, so mirror is an example of an object, but if we talk about the material which is used to make a mirror, is a glass. Okay, so glass is a material. So similarly, if we talk about table, okay, table, we made table from wood. And what are the other materials we use for table? We can make table from a steel metal. Okay, we can make table from plastics. So these are the different materials that are used to make an object, and that object is table. Okay, so to clarify this more precisely, look at this table. Here you can see that for making a table we need wood. So here the object is table, okay, and the material is wood. Okay, materials are those things from which an object is made. Okay, I hope this is clear to you now, that what is an object and what is a material. So now see other examples also. If we talk about marbles, okay, marbles are the things from which children play. Okay, so marbles are made up of glass. Okay, I hope that all of you have seen marbles, and also you have played with marbles, so you know that how a marble look like. So marble is an object, but to make that particular marble, what is the material that is required? That is glass. Okay, so glass is an example of material. Similarly, if we look at the other examples for pipe, we want plastic. Okay, for pipe. And what is the other example, what is the other material which can be used to make pipe? That is steel. Okay, so what else? If we talk about shirt, so shirt can be made from different materials, like we can make a shirt from silk, we can make shirt from cotton, we can make shirt from the other materials also, which the clothing materials. But we cannot make a shirt with a piece of paper, right? Or we cannot make a shirt with a steel. So why these things cannot be done, we will discuss this in the chapter, okay, itself. Now we talk about glass. If glass, this means tumbler. If we want to make a tumbler, so what are the materials that we can use to make a tumbler? We can use a metal. Okay, and what are the other things? We can use a plastic glass. We drink water in plastic glass also. Steel. What else? If you want to make, yes, plastic and steels, these are some examples from which you can make a tumbler. What else? If you want to make a brick, so for making a brick, which material is required? Mud is required. Okay, so I hope these examples make clear to you that what is an object and what is a material. Okay, so objects are basically those things from which is made from materials. Okay, so now let's move on. In the simple language, you can say that object are those things that can be felt or seen. Okay, and what are materials? Materials are the substances from which we make an object. Okay, I hope this part is clear to you, that what is object and what is materials. Now moving forward, so it is not that only one material is used to make a one particular object. Okay, there are some objects, there are different objects which for which we need different type of materials, or for making a particular object, simple one object, we use different materials. Okay, for let's take an example here. So first of all, understanding of object and materials helps us to analyze why a certain object is built with a certain material. Okay, suppose if we want to make a bicycle, okay, if we want to make a bicycle, so what are the things that that are required to for it? First of all, we need metals. Okay, then we need plastic, and then we need rubber. Up suppose Now suppose if we are using a cycle, and we change the seat of the cycle from rubber to a metal, or say let's plastic. So you know that plastic is not that much capable to take your weight. So what will happen? The seat of the bicycle may break. Okay, so that is one example that why we cannot use a plastic material to make the seat of the bicycle. It will also be uncomfortable for the person who is driving the bicycle. And the second of all, that it might be, it can break after some time. So there are particular materials for which they have a specific use, they have a specific need for it. And according to those thing, we decide that for making an object, which material is suitable. Okay, now let's take another example. If we want to make a utensil, okay, let's say we are making a pan. Okay, and for the pan, first part we need metal. Okay, but for the handle, it is compulsory that we either it is made up of a wooden holder or a plastic. Why? Because that will help to that will help us to be protected from the fire or the burning marks. Let's say suppose the handle of the utensil is made from metal also it is made from metal. So what will happen? We you know that we cannot hold the handle of that utensil. Okay, so these are some example. I hope that this part is also clear to you, that why we use a specific type of material to make a specific type of object. Okay, now let's move on further. So these were that what is an object and what is material, and why a specific object or material is required. Now let's discuss that why sorting is needed. Okay, first of all, what is the meaning of sorting? Sorting means to separate items. Okay, sorting means to separate them, to separate a particular item from the other items. Okay, let's see why sorting is needed. Okay, so as you all know that in science, where we have to study such vast variety of vast number of objects, we must classify them into certain groups and pattern. Okay, we can then observe and record the similarities and dissimilarities between various objects. This helps us in many ways. For example, if we have two know the property of one member of the group, it may help us to know the property know about the other members of the group. So here is what is being said is that in science, as we know that there are different objects that we have to study. So to specify that what is the property of a particular material will help us to know the property of similar materials. Let's take an example. If we want to make a chair, okay, we want to build a chair, so what are the things that can be used to make a chair? So what are the things? First of all, we can use plastic to make a chair. Okay, what else we can use? We can make use plastic. We can use wood to make a chair. Okay, what else? Steel. Okay, or you can say metals. We can use metals to make a chair. So these are some materials with the help of which we can make a chair. But if we think about making a chair with a certain object like a material like paper, or let's say we want to make a chair with the help of a piece of cotton cloth, so we cannot make it. Why? Because the purpose of chair is to it should be hard, it should be have the capacity to hold a person. Okay, it is for sitting purpose, so it should have that particular capacity to make a person sit. So it should have the stronger ability to hold that person up. So by how you can analyze this, that the chair can be made from these particular materials like plastic, wood, steel, and cannot be made from cloth or paper, is by sorting the materials into different variety of groups. Okay, so sorting helps to do what? Sorting helps to do identify that why this material is useful for making this object or a certain object, and why the materials which are not uh, good for the particular material, particular object, why is it so? Okay, why? It is extremely important to separate and sort different materials. It makes storage of each material easier. One can easily figure out which is what. It also helps in disposal because for because not every material can be disposed of in a similar way. So to understand this, that why sorting is important, let's take a simple example. Suppose you want to buy some toiletries and you go to a departmental store to buy them. Okay, you want to buy a soap, let's say. So you went to departmental store, and inside the departmental store, okay, all the objects are placed randomly, means there is no sorting there. So to look for that particular item that you want, the time that you are using will be taken. Okay, you have to give more time to search for the object that you want, search for the thing that you want. But suppose if all the materials inside the departmental store are separated according to the use and according to the sorting ability, that what is required, which is suppose if you want to buy books, so books are kept in a separate drawer, and the pulses or the grocery items are separated in a different aisle. So by this you can understand that for the thing that you want to buy, let's say you wanted to buy a soap, so to buy a soap or to take a soap, you have to go to the toiletry section. Okay, and if you want to buy a particular pulses, or if you want to buy eggs, suppose, so you have to go to the grocery grocery department, or where the groceries are put together. So this will help you. The sorting of the materials inside the departmental store is actually helping you to identify that where the object or where the thing that you want for your personal purpose is where. Okay, so this helps to identify the things according to the similarities. Okay, sorting is done according to the similarities of the objects. Okay, now it also helps to identify that which item should be disposed in which way. Disposal means disposal is done in two ways. Like biodegradable items are disposed in different way, and non biodegradable items are exposed in different way. So sorting helps us to identify that which item is biodegradable and which item is non biodegradable, and according to the according to the materials that are used for a certain object, it helps to disposal, it helps in the disposal of that particular item. Okay, now let's move forward. That what is the other thing? It helps in storage. Okay, in order to allocate suitable containers for storage of object, it is necessary to sort object into solid, liquid and gas. So let's understand this by with an example. Suppose you went to a market to buy some vegetable and other grocery items. Okay, so you have taken a bag, cotton bag, or a any other cloth bag to buy the vegetables, and when you have put the vegetable inside the bag, you know that the vegetable that bag can hold the vegetables. But now if you want to buy, let's say you want to buy milk or you want to buy oil, so can you put that oil or the milk inside the cloth, the bag you made from cloth? No, you cannot. Okay, for the purpose of holding the liquid, you need either a plastic bottle or a plastic bag. You cannot put the liquid in a cotton bag or any other cloth bag. Okay, so this also helps by sorting. It helps us to understand that which object, or you can say which material, like solid, liquid or gas, can be put in which container. Okay, so now let's move to the next thing, that is manufacturing. Okay, the material of an object can be identified depending upon its properties. Okay, so for making a particular thing, you should know that what is the property that the object should hold. Suppose you want to make a bat for yourself. Okay, you want to make a bat for yourself, so what are the materials that you can use? Either you can make a bat from a wooden block with the use of wood. Okay, or either you can use plastic. Okay, so these are the only two things that you can use to make a bat. You cannot make a bat with other materials. Okay, so for the manufacturing of an object, it is very important to sort the materials in their groups. So you know that for making the object with a particular a particular use should be particular use, you know that what are the materials that can be with that hold the similar property to make the object. Okay, or the usage, you can say what are the use. In order to make a proper use of substances, we need to classify them on the basis of their physical and chemical properties. Okay, so which item is used to make which thing should be only understandable to you if you know that what are the usage of these particular materials. And this is done with by putting them into two different categories according to their physical and chemical properties. Okay, so they are divided into physical and chemical properties, and according to that sorting, the materials that you want to use, you can identify those, and you can make the use of those material to make an object. Now let's see that what are the properties of material according to which the sorting is done. Okay, so material are classified based on similarities in their properties. okay, such as that we are going to discuss. But before that, the properties of materials are actually have two categories. First is chemical properties, and the second one is physical properties. Okay, chemical properties are the chemical changes that takes place in an object or in a material. Okay, this is the basic definition that you can understand to know that what is chemical properties. But what are the physical properties? Physical properties are those properties which you can physically see, like the size of an object, the color of the object, the shape of the object. So these are example of some physical properties. So physical, by physical word you can understand that physical means those things that you can actually see physically or feel physically. Okay, and in this chapter the sorting that we are going to read according to the physical properties of the material. So material can be classified on the basis of their similarities in their properties. Okay, so their physical properties. So here let's see that what are the properties according to which we are going to read. Okay, so the properties are appearance of the object. Okay, state of matter. So appearance, in appearance we are going to talk about the shape, size, okay, the luster, the shininess they have. Okay, these are some things that we are going to read under the appearance part. Then comes the state of matter. So as you know that state of matters are in the state of matter are three, that is liquid, gas and solid. Okay, that we are going to do study deeply. Then we have solubility in water. Okay, so there solubility in water. Then there comes the flotation in water. Okay, and transparency. So these are the 1 2 3 4 5. Okay, these are the five types under which we are going to see that what are the materials and how they are classified into these groups. Okay, so let's start. For the first one, that is appearance. Okay, so appearance is what? Appearance is that what is a, so there are different materials which look different from each other. Okay, let's take example. If we are talking about paper, okay, so we know that paper looks different from a cloth. Okay, or we talk about that if we are talking about, let's see the first property according to which we can sort different materials or objects are appearance. So what is the meaning of appearance? Appearance means the material, the look of the material. Okay, the look that the material have is known as, you can say, you can call it as appearance. Okay, and according to appearance of the materials, they are divided into two further categories, that is lustrous and non-lustrous objects or materials. Okay, what are lustrous objects? Lustrous objects are those objects which have shine to them. Okay, and non-lustrous objects are those objects which do not have shine to them. Let's understand this with an example. Say we have taken different objects like wood, cotton, okay, cotton, gold, a piece of gold and a silver. Okay, and we have to sort these all items according to the lustrous and non-lustrous property. So we are going to keep wood in the non-lustrous part and gold and silver on the lustrous part, because they both have shine to it. Okay, and whereas if we talk about wood, it has no shine to it, so it is a non-lustrous material. Okay, so this is a part, or you can say a property according to which we can separate or sort different objects and materials. Okay, so there is one more thing, that iron, aluminum, copper, gold, etc. look lustrous, shiny and bright. Okay, they have luster to them. Luster means they have shine to them. So, and they are bright. So generally such substances which appear bright and shiny are known as metals. Okay, they are known as metals. So some examples of metals are iron, aluminum, copper, gold. Okay, these are some examples of metal. So according to the appearance or the look of a material, we can classify them into two categories, that is lustrous and non-lustrous. And lustrous means those items which have shine to them, and non-lustrous means those objects or materials which don't have shine to them. Okay, so I hope this section is clear to you, that how we separate objects according to the appearance of theirs. Okay, so students, for this particular video the topic is complete. Okay, we are going to discuss the rest of the topics, the rest of the property according to which we can separate the materials in the separate video. Okay, because in a separate video with detail. Okay, so for this part it is over. So I hope that you understood that what and why we need sorting, and how sorting is very important for the object to classify them into different groups. Okay, so this was the end of the video, and if you have any question regarding to any particular topic, you can ask me. Thank you so much, students.